It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
I am very happy about this. It is the man from the Jay and Kevin Show. Well, one of the men from the Jay and Kevin Show.
Yeah.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 10 on the big 99.9 Coyote Country. Download the Coyote Country app. Listen to them. Stream them. They're great. Listen to their podcast. It's all good. Kevin James, how's it hanging?
Oh, it's good. It's good to see you. You're so clear.
Well,
Your
good.
looks- Yeah, you just such beautiful, beautiful skin tones
Thank you.
and everything.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's the
I
blue.
look kind of washed out.
This
you know?
color of blue on me has always done well.
Okay.
I
Well,
actually...
yeah,
Let me tell you a story. Blue about this that you around our times of life. I went to Value Village by where the old Value Village RIP, which by the way, it's right by the KXLY building. Is that now a parking garage?
yes, it is.
Oh, take
Not
a
a
pic.
parking garage, just a parking lot.
Okay.
They weren't smart enough to build a garage. It's just a big parking lot.
I went to that Value Village when I was single, and I knew this color of blue was good on me. And for like 2 summers, I bought a ton of blue shirts this color that I would wear out on weekend nights because I was a t-shirt guy going out, and it was this color of blue. I just feel like it does well for me. So that was...
This is a question of, shows my stupidity and the fact that I've just been stuck in this area for my whole life, which I don't mind.
No.
But I'm assuming Goodwill is like nationwide.
That's what we have here.
Goodwill.
That's what we have. Goodwill in Lexington.
Okay, but you don't have like a Value Village, or you probably have your own local thing like that, but
I bet you there's a Salvation Army or something like that.
okay.
I know, Kevin. Well, I know there is, like, I don't call these what we're talking about. Goodwill, Value Village, these spots, very different than we have some, like, I would say they're more antique-y, where they're supposed to be cooler, trendier.
Oh.
And I don't know what that's called. Vintage, a vintage store. So I don't know. I don't know. Those are here. Okay, Kevin, tonight on the podcast, I've got 2 new segments for you. Be excited. I've got a party question. I've got what's the right phrase? What's the right way to say a phrase? I've got Disney because you love Disney. I've got some home stuff. I've got some late night food stuff. But I wanted to start out with the fact we're recording this on Tuesday night, April the 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, my friend.
Oh, yes, and to you.
Did you get got by anything today?
I did not.
Did you get got your granddaughter?
Oh. No. Hold on. I did get got a little bit, but I sniffed out what was coming and then played along to help Jay get producer Steve, who Jay brought in a plate of brownies for Steve from Denise to say thank you, blah, 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 right? Because Steve's taking him to the airport on Friday. And so he brought him in a plate of brownies, and he put like apple slices on it so that the plate was heavy, and then it had tinfoil, and he pulled it back. And of course, it was the classic kindergarten teacher's trick of a bunch of letter E's that were brown E's.
Kevin, guess what my daughter came home from school with today?
No way.
A brown E. And it was the very first time I've heard that trick ever. I'd never heard it before.
I don't think I had heard it either in all these years with Jay, but I guess Denise does it every year in class, and you'll love this story. You're dealing with 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And she did it last year and just kept getting them. You know how she gets all excited and is like, oh my gosh, guys, we have brownies. Woo, they're all excited. And then they open them up, and one kid just started bawling. Just straight up bawling because he wanted actual brownies. So she now brings brownies as well to make sure.
Did she send any real brownies to work today?
She did not to our work.
Oh, man, that's brutal. That's brutal. Because Jay doesn't eat that stuff anymore.
Well, they did. They brought in some sort of bread. You would have loved it.
Okay.
It was the heaviest loaf of bread I've ever seen. And it had chocolate chips in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it almost seemed a little bit like garlic bread, that type of bread,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with chocolate chips.
Man, that sounds good. Okay, Kev, what is Jay eating these days? I saw a picture of him. I saw a picture of all three of you guys, and
Sorry.
he is small, man. Like, what is
Yeah,
he eating for lunch?
well, they're on a
Pieces of crap like you for breakfast?
by the way, July 25th.
Kevin, I didn't know I was excited for Happy Gilmore 2 until that latest trailer was out. And
Yeah.
all the feelings came back to me, and I thought, oh yeah, no, I'm not only
I'm in.
excited, I'm extremely excited.
Yes.
Okay,
What's
anyways,
Jay eating?
what's
I
he
don't know, man. He So they got this app that their daughter got them onto
okay?
called Yucca.
What was it again?
Yucca, like
Yucca.
YUCCA, I think it is.
I'm writing
or
it
maybe
down.
it's CA.
Why? Okay.
Don't show your wife, dude. You will never eat again.
Dude, I'm worried about it.
Do not show her.
Okay.
And what it does is you scan the barcode on any food and it will give you a score as to what is in this food. It's all about the preservatives and what stuff do they put in the food that, and then you read it and it's like, this can cause nerve damage. This can cause cancer. This can cause this can cause, I'm sure. And there's some stuff that has a pretty bad score, obviously. But what happened was he came to work one day and it looked like he had gone to the grocery store and then came to work because he had just bags of all the stuff from their house that he's like, yeah, no longer eating any of this.
No
So
way.
just leaving it here at the station. Anybody can help themselves to it. And so we did. I'm trying to preserve myself as long as I can. Seems like, wouldn't you eat preservatives?
Yes, I'm
To
pro.
preserve
I'm
yourself?
pro preservation. Weird take
Yeah.
to be anti-preservation.
It's a bad take.
Yeah, kind of a weird spot to be in, but of course, he's going to get away with it.
Yeah, and he, I don't know, he's just getting to that age where he's like,
Yeah, I get that.
I got to take care of some things. And he's just, his family has a terrible history of cancer with his mom and his dad and sister. And so it's just one of those. I think he's like, might as well plan on living a long time.
Well, I can tell you
And
why.
he will.
Of course he
live
will.
to like 112.
He'll die and come back and haunt us still. In a good way, not a bad way, in like a joke roundup.
Oh,
way.
yeah.
He'll come back and do joke roundup. I mean,
Hey,
who are we
want
kidding?
some
We'll be
brownies?
dead. We'll be long gone by then. But he'll haunt our kids.
Yeah.
He'll come in and do joke roundup. I'm looking at the app, Yucca, and
YUKA.
and it is. I can tell you why I will not be downloading it. The picture it has demonstrating the app. The demonstration is Honey Nut Cheerios, and it's
They're one of the worst.
8 out of 100 bad red. We live on those in this house, so this
Same
app
here.
will not be. I have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios almost every night before bed because I just love a bowl of cereal before bed. So get out of here, Yuka.
Actually thought when I saw that list, and there was some of the things like Honey Nut Cheerios, and I thought, okay, I kind of feel bad. My granddaughter's not going to make it long at all because a lot of the food she's eating is on this list. And I just was like, but then I justify it this way. Well, they drink Lactaid with it. So if you're using Lactaid, does it kind of cancel out
Absolutely.
the cereal stuff?
The chemistry has to work there. It has to. It has to do like, it's like acid base, you mix them together and it's like a neutral. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Veggie straws are going to be bad on this. Like, I'm with you, dude. We can't. I'm getting so skeptical in my own way, in my old age, and I hate it. I'm everything that I used to hate because I'm a believer now in these apps like Yuka. I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing on their page. It says tortilla chips, poor. And then it has a specific tortilla chip brand that is an excellent rating. It has Carmex, lip balm, bad. Burt's Bees, excellent. I am a firm believer that all these companies are paying to get their products positive on all
100%.
like on all these apps and all the things you see ever since Instagram and Facebook started throwing ads at you. I don't believe a single thing anymore. I'm like, well, of course, so weird that Tostitos are bad, but this $7 bag of chips is not only good but perfectly excellent and will never kill you.
I know. I agree with you. I told Jay, I said, listen, I'm not going to stop eating a lot of these things because I really like the stuff that he brought in. He brought in Otter Pops and put them in the fridge because they weren't good. No, you can't eat them anymore.
Should have put them in the freezer.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. He put them in the freezer. And I ate all of them.
That a boy. That's my guy right there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like, well,
look at you.
There's some things I'll change. Like, okay, the protein bars I had got like a 30 out of 100. And Jay's like, that's not terrible. And I'm like, well, that's not great either, though. I go, tell me what they say the number one protein bar is.
There we go.
So he looked, and of course it was the RX bar. Have you seen those?
No, but they're probably $1 million.
It's the one that has on the cover, it says exactly what it is. Like the ones I eat are blueberry, and they're like 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 2 nuts, and blah, blah, blah.
My man.
2 dates.
2 dates and 2 nuts.
Yeah, because we actually read that on the air one day, and then Jay said, hey, what's the difference between producer Steve and that protein bar? And his joke was, producer Steve doesn't have 2 dates, and which was fun.
That's very funny.
Before he got there, I said, 10 nuts? He doesn't have 10 nuts?
I miss you guys.
Very childish.
RX bars. Are they really $2.50 for a bar?
That might be true. So I buy them from Amazon in maybe there's 12 in a pack.
Okay. And it's $30, like 30-ish bucks?
It's like 20, 22 or something.
Can't hide money. They look good though, and I like that part. I like taking away. The bars are a great example. That's a great example because it's something that is replaceable, but I don't. Honey Nut Cheerios are irreplaceable. Okay, so that's the entire podcast. No, we've got so much to talk about. April Fools. Can I tell you where April Fools gets guys like you and me? Because they go, Liquid Death, Gold Can Liquid Death. If you're watching on YouTube, we've. By the way, I have 2 sponsorships tonight. How crazy is that? I have 2 sponsorships tonight.
Do you really?
Yes. I'm excited about them. But neither of them is Liquid Death, but they could be a sponsor if they want to be.
Yes.
Sports on Twitter. Sports stories on Twitter. That's what gets me. That's the one. I'm going to fall for one if they're just all on there, and then there's going to be one that's just believable enough that I think, that's the one that's real. So we fell for, my group of buddies here in Lexington fell for Hunter Dickinson from Kansas, who's been in college for 6 years. There was one of them said has been given a 7th year and had like a cheesy excuse for it that seemed semi-realistic. And in this world of NIL, it was like, okay, he's sticking around, and we all believed it until we all didn't believe it. Too many hours later. Too many hours.
Where you're just like,
No, we just moved on. Like everyone, I think, realized it at the same time, and we just pretended like that morning didn't happen.
It never happened.
No, someone just switched the subject. Yeah, totally switched the subject and was like, yeah, let's talk about, that's fine. We're talking about real stuff. Did one get you? Did any sports ones get you?
Did a sports one get me? Well, after I woke up from a nap, a very long nap today, like 3 hours.
Oh.
I guess I needed it. And I woke up and I started scrolling through my phone, and I don't know that my brain was completely functioning.
That's when they get you.
Yeah. And so it was one, and it was, I remember.
Also, a 3-hour nap, you have no idea what day it is when you wake up.
Oh. I thought it was morning, and I was so freaked out because I could see a little bit of light, and I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. How many times has Jay called? And luckily, it was afternoon.
Well, then the worst part with that job, the morning show, is you could wake up at 4:20 p.m., But because of when we wake up in the morning, when I was doing the morning show, that morning time, you'd see 4 o'clock and you'd think, oh shoot, I woke up early. Like I'm fine. I woke up at 4:10. Yeah. My alarm's going to go off in 10 minutes.
Mm-mm.
No. It's the afternoon. You
About
still have a
12
whole
hours from now, it's going to go off.
Yeah, you have a whole life ahead of you.
Do have one. This is the second time this has happened in my life where a company has made a legitimate announcement on April 1st.
What are we doing?
And I get it. It's the end of the first quarter, like your business wise, like it makes some sense. But one of them was Sergio's. Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
Sergio's decided that they were closing country nights and Sergio's in general was going to be gone.
R.I.P.
Downtown used to be Heroes and Legends, and it is now the great 24 Taps.
Love 24 Taps.
They announced it on April 1st, and it was just like everybody was like, ha ha ha, April Fools. Poor Sergio was on there like, no, it's for real, unfortunately.
Oh,
and I was just like, oh, that's a bummer. Same thing today. The company that makes the DJ software that I use, Serato, they're like
Serato.
Very, very popular in the DJ world.
I just scanned them on the Yuka app, and they are excellent.
Okay, thank you. If you want to eat the beats, that's where you get them. And they just today announced that they sold to another company. And it was so long them trying to explain it all. Like, no, this is real. This really did happen. And there won't be changes and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I still don't know if it's true. I think it is, but it was just like, how do you make an announcement on April 1st?
What do you do? Putting your clientele into like questioning mode is such a bad position. And someone in your company has to have realized it, because they needed to at least go on social media for 4 seconds and say, oh, you know what, today we're not, hold on that for a second.
Yeah, like wait till tomorrow.
Oh, I'm looking at some of the Serato stuff right now. 2 turntables and 2 nuts. These are sick, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. What is this one? Serato Hex. This has got a lot of knobs, I think. Oh, that's just maybe a program. Is it just programs? Do they not have an actual
Serato
unit?
Is just the software.
Oh.
That works with all the DJ controllers. Like my controller that I have is the Rain 4, R-A-N-E. The Rain 4. It's a dandy.
Well, I guess, okay, we'll talk about, I'm going to move these 2 things because I think this is a decent transition to our first segment, but I do need to move this.
Oh, we're just starting the first segment.
Yeah, this is going to be our first segment. I've got 2 segments, like 2 little bit segments, games. 2 segments.
Oh, yeah, because you have sponsors.
Yeah, and this segment is brought to you by GetYourDJ.com. Whether you have an upcoming wedding, school dance, company party, divorce party, quinceañera, pool party, potty party, pity party, a fancy dinner that needs some good mood music, or maybe you're just a sad person, but you're also super rich and you want someone to come play music for you at your house, or if you just want a company that still believes in the Cupid Shuffle, you need to get out and reach out to GetYourDJ.com. Kevin James and his crew of talented DJs will take your event and turn it from butt to bad butt. Go check out GetYourDJ.com right now. Give them a call weekday morning. Oh, go check out GetYourDJ.com right now, or give them a call weekday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at 509-441-0999, and ask his personal secretary that you'd like to speak to DJ Muffintop. GetYourDJ.com, proud sponsor of the Sean Widmer podcast. And that brings us to our first segment, Kevin, which I like to call If I Was Rich.
If I was rich?
If I was rich. Kevin, if you were...
yeah, I like this game already.
Dude, it's a great game. If you were rich right now, okay, what would you do? If you were rich right now, can I tell you... I'll start off so I can give you... I'll stall for a second. I would buy some kind of T-shirt press, like a really nice one.
Yeah.
That prints really nice T-shirts that you would buy at a store. You know, not the kind that you get at a printing press place that sells a T-shirt for $20 and the stuff falls off 2 seconds later. Like a really nice shirt. And I would just make shirts every night before bed and have a new shirt the next day. Every day.
Is this just Is this just for you?
Just for me.
Or
Oh, yeah,
is it
just for me.
something you're selling?
No, KJ, just for me. If I was rich, right? If I was rich, dude, I would just buy a ton of shirts that I like, plain shirts, probably black shirts. And every day I'd have a new kind of design, like the one I'm wearing now that just has like a logo over the heart, the left breast, or like a big design on the middle or something on the back. I would just make a new shirt every day. If I was rich.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. And just a wasteful thing with money, most people would think. And you're like, well, I'm really rich.
And then you could take all the shirts to charity. Shout out Jay and Kevin Show listeners. Don't want to offend anyone. Everything.
Do that.
But you could, you could wear a shirt for a while and then take it to charity, and then randomly in town see someone wearing one of your weird shirts that you had, and they would probably become fairly popular.
Yeah.
But you, like, Kev, you're so creative. I will give us credit. You and I are fairly creative people. Think about the designs you could just make and go into work one day with. And
it would be fun. Well, you know how many times on our show we have said, or just in life in general, where we've been like, oh, we should make that a t-shirt.
Totally.
And you would be doing it. You would just be like, well, we should. I'm going to make a t-shirt every day. That's 365 shirts a year.
Yes. I also think it would be fun. And, even if you make a couple a week and you don't make 7 a week, but I also think it'd be a really fun thing because you could become the t-shirt guy for your friends. And if they're really nice t-shirts, you could make Jay a t-shirt one day just for fun and bring it in and throw it to him. And it would get good laughs. It'd be great laughs.
Yes.
Instead of a card, you could make the card on the t-shirt. So when you go to someone's birthday party, the card is written on the t-shirt.
It's the shirt.
Yeah. Happy 29th. Happy 29th for the 50th time, Sally. Love, KJ.
Hilarious.
Thanks, dude.
Sally's going to get all the attention in that shirt.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. It's my birthday. Buy me a beer or something like that, right?
That's right.
But you don't want to buy that shirt.
Birthday boy, arrow pointing up. That's not bad.
2 dates, 2 nuts. Arrows. Right? RX bar. And that's like what it said, RX man. Bar. Okay, if you were rich, Kevin, if you were rich.
Well, right now it's fresh on my mind because Jelly Roll, you know that fella.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost like 160 pounds or something.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and he's still going. He was a big dude. He was like 550 pounds or something.
KJ, he was huge.
He's still going, but they showed on tour. He's like, this is what I eat when I'm on tour, man. I have like 2 meals a day, basically, and I love Waffle House. So, but then it's just his personal chef who is with him everywhere he goes. It's, if you're on tour, chef's there. You're at home, chef's there. And he just has a chef who is making food. I was like, oh, I want to see what this is. Because it was like protein, probiotic, Waffle House breakfast scramble or some weird thing like that.
What a great name.
And Jelly Roll's like, I love the Waffle House. So the guy tries to duplicate it. But it's got like sauerkraut piled into it and all that. It was one of those that I was like, I'm going to do this recipe. And then I started watching the guy and I realized how many steps it was. And I'm like, I'm never doing this. I'm never, ever doing this. There's no way I am making that. But that's when I realized, God, if I had a personal chef that and I don't want him, okay, just when I get home, I need you at the station, bud. So when I'm, it's that weird day where it's 11:30 and you're thinking, do I want to wait till 1 something when I get home? No, I don't. I want to eat right now. Chef, whip up something healthy. I would enjoy that so much.
Oh, I love that. That's a great usage. And also, it's one of those. We've talked about this before. That's rich person stuff. Like you're rich, and that's good. That's a good feeling. I'm assuming. I'm going to give you another. If I was rich, If I was rich, and this comes from now the job I'm in now, where the Studio 46 that I work for does events, and we've got a bunch of guys, technicians, who go out and work events. So, for instance, today we had a bunch of our guys setting up this huge video wall that the Keeneland horse track for the upcoming spring races. It's like 4 weeks of races, and we put up a huge video wall on a hill where there's a huge tailgate party. So people outside the track who aren't in the track can be outside in this monster field and watch the races and gamble out in these tents that are out there. So we had guys go out today and set up this video wall, and it's really hard work, and they're all day doing it. And I would love to find companies like that, like lawn care companies like this, where guys are going out and doing hard work. Mm-hmm. And I would love to hire that company for a day to send out their employees. And when they get to the thing I have them do, I want to throw a party.
Oh, yeah, this is excellent.
Okay, so like you've got the lawn care guys, 6 lawn care guys. Say you just tell them you've got a big yard. You're going to pay for their services. The guys get there, they're probably angry, it's early, they don't want to work. And then when they get there, there's nothing to be done, and you just have a party all day, right?
Now, would it be like Keeneland food? Would it be like, you know, we're at the Fancy Horse? It would be Monster energy drinks and those little packs of donuts that they buy every morning at the convenience store.
Absolutely. And then it would be catered by just like the biggest barbecue joint in town. Just a party. And they don't do anything. Like put out lounging stuff, set up some TVs, set up whatever, and they just they get there and they're like, there you go, this is a 2-day job. And so the first day they come, they're surprised, and they know they're coming back the next day, so they can dress down. And just don't tell your boss you're coming out, and you just give them 2 days of pretty much vacation while they're getting paid. That's an if I was rich. That's what I would do.
That is a really good one. If I was rich, another thing I would like to do is have unlimited access to Gonzaga basketball.
Oh, I love this, Kev.
So,
I love this.
I mean, just like I'm going to go to every game. I mean, I want to know in the middle of the season, what in the heck was going on this year? And what were they saying in the locker room?
Yes.
So I would just be like, hey, coach, I'm going to hang out in the locker room today and check out what's going on. And like get full access to know, you know, like insider information nonstop from the Zags. And then
you're on the plane, you're on the team plane with them. You can travel with the team.
Yes, of course. You travel with them anytime you want. You go to practice if you want to just sit there and just like experience a practice, knowing full well you're not going to go out and be like a D-bag who like leaks information to Brian Windhorst or whoever. No.
Or Jim Meehan. I had to get local. Steve
That's
Burgess.
Not me. I don't do that stuff.
Not you.
I keep secrets.
Yep. Good one. And then throw away the key. You would, that would be, Kevin, that would be really freaking awesome.
How fun would that be?
And go to all the road games and then sit in on like dinners.
Oh, yeah, the team dinners. That's exactly. And then the cool part is you don't have to go to stuff you don't want to go to. Or like maybe you're just like, God, this is a grind, man. These guys do a lot in, a few days. And then it's like, I'm not going to that, but I'll go to breakfast tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys there.
Oh, that'd be fun. Just get to hang out with Barrett a whole bunch.
See, like, I don't know, like the tutor who goes on the road with them, like, trying to keep them all doing their homework. I don't even know if college students do homework anymore because I feel like I don't know if college is even real anymore.
No.
For college athletes.
It's not. Kevin, it's all money now. It is just minor league sports.
Different.
It's minor league sports.
So
I'm worried about the Zags. I just worry all the time. You're optimistic.
No,
I miss having you in my life for the optimism. I just immediately get worried because I actually talked to Jack Ferris about this today on the phone, how I'm worried that at some point, like something could happen where, the game's changed a bit and we're going to be Gonzaga. We're going to be figuring out how to change with it. So there might be a momentary lull. And I'm already so mad. I'm pre-mad at the Zag boards because there's going to be people who are like, Gonzaga can't get it done. This is stupid. Why can't they hang with them? They're going to be mad and angry. And all I'm going to want to say is, you guys, there are people who went to Gonzaga when this started, and their kids are at Gonzaga now. I'm so sorry that Gonzaga provided you with a quarter of a century of success and tournament runs.
It's so dumb.
And now you're like, wow, but this is stupid. Well, Gonzaga sucks. You got a quarter century, dude. They don't need to do anything for 75 more years, and you've got more than every other college has ever gotten. Butler did it for 2 years, 2 seasons, and it was like the greatest. 2. We did it for 25 right now.
It's pretty amazing. There's no doubt about that, and it needs to be. I did see a story though that might make you feel a little better. I'm not sure.
Good.
I don't know. These numbers were not. The numbers didn't make sense to me, but it was talking about college basketball teams that had the most money available for NIL deals.
Okay.
And number 1 was BYU.
And they have a guy who's coming in for $7 million.
That's correct.
$7 million.
Now, it said that their budget was $3 million. And they were, I know, that's why I was like, well, that already doesn't add up. And so I don't know if there's something else. I don't know if there's something missing there. But then it was, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, all the big names. They were all up there in the top 10. Arkansas, because they have all the money.
Yeah.
But all of them were just like $1 million or a little less than $1 million a year, it said. And none of that really makes sense to me. But I was like, okay, whatever. But they had Gonzaga at number 13 with like, I don't know, 400,000 a year or something. And they said that it's way more competitive than you would think at Gonzaga. And I was like, okay. Well,
really?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna bring something up
we'll
here.
see.
It's
a weird world. That's sports.
No, we got one more sports thing for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is sports, but we're not on the Jay and Kevin show. We can talk a little more sports. There's a building at Gonzaga that was opened in 2014. It is called the Stevens Center. It is a indoor tennis and golf facility opened in January 2014. This 72,000 square foot facility includes 6 regulation tennis courts and a golf practice area with a putting green, chipping area, and track simulators. Other prominent features include whatever. Go on. It goes on and on. The Stevens Center, named after Jeff Stevens. Jeff Stevens is a skilled industry veteran with 40-plus years of experience. He currently serves as the president of Franklin Mountain Energy, a Denver-based energy company. He is the principal at Franklin Mountain Capital. He is the founding partner of Western Refining, Inc., an oil company, Kevin. We're talking landman stuff. He's also one of the biggest boosters, not only at Gonzaga, but at Arizona. He's like Mr. Arizona.
Okay.
Like there's rumors that that's the reason Tommy's at Arizona. It's like Jeff Stevens is also a Zags guy. Hey, Jeff, I know you listen. Come on, buddy. Like one time. You've already spent $1 million. You've already spent tens of millions of dollars, maybe $100 million for Gonzaga, but just one time. You have bottomless pockets. Hey, Jeff, buy our roster for 1 year and let's see what happens. Just for kicks and giggles. Just so you can go to the oil convention, the Texas Tea Oil Convention at Northern Quest, and with all the other billionaires, and you're like, boys, I bought us a freaking national championship.
Yep. Check it out. Check out my team. That's a wonderful idea. I always keep thinking this too. Like, okay, because it's been 25 years, there's a lot of people who have graduated from Gonzaga at that time.
Yeah.
That are probably very, very smart. Aren't we due for a Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk-ish, somebody who does something amazing, and they happen to be from Gonzaga. Like, it's just going to pop up. They're going to be like, the hottest new AI company is run by,
dude, Tony
Connor Van Hout.
Connor Van Hout, dude.
He graduated from Gonzaga. He loves the Zags, and he is now a billionaire, and he keeps it alive.
Do you know where Jeff Bezos graduated from?
Only high school, right? Or did he do college?
It says he has a BSE, whatever that means, from Princeton University. Now, I'm not doing the research to see if he did that like after he was successful or not.
Right.
But like Princeton, not necessarily known for basketball. So let's say he went there during his college days, which I can't verify, and I'm not going to read all this stuff. Oh, he also received a degree from the University of New Mexico. Whatever. I feel like he doesn't have a school like Gonzaga, where Gonzaga is a basketball school. Okay? You graduate from New Mexico, it's not a basketball place. Princeton, not a basketball place. Gonzaga's basketball. So when there is this tech billionaire, Connor McHout or whatever his name was, he's going to have gone to Gonzaga and had the basketball experience and have that in his veins. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, and you got to love it.
He probably was in Tent City at one point.
Do you think?
So,
do you think he ever maybe drank a few too many with Adam Morrison?
Right. He was at the Star Bar doing karaoke. He knows what it means to be a Zag, and he's going to buy us a team.
Like egg rolls.
He smells like. All right, so there's sports.
Star Bar.
There's sports. I have a party question for you. I have a phrasing question for you. I have our next segment if you want to do that as well. Like, where do you want it? What do you want to do?
Dude, I'm up for whatever.
Oh, you said it. We're going to it. You're what for whatever?
I'm up for whatever.
Kevin and I were talking today. Is the 2025 youth? Are we supposed to say I'm up for that or I'm down for that? So, hey, you want to go shoot pool? Well, we both would say no. What's something we would both like to do? You want to go to the casino?
I'm down with that.
I'm down with that, or I'm up for. I think we interchange them, don't we?
I do. I say both for sure. But it really got me today, where I was like, wait, should I be saying I'm up for that, or I'm down for that? And is there a reason why one's better in a certain time than the other?
I thought about this way too much tonight because I had my children, and it was everything I could do. I was just listening to them complain, so I thought I need to do this like Zen mode where my body stays there for them to yell at, but my brain goes off into another world. And so I went to the world of this conversation. And here's where I landed. I'm assuming this phrase started with I'm up for that. And then the word down seems like more of an 80s, 90s, like I'm down for that.
Okay.
I could see it doing that. So I kind of want to revert back to I'm up for that. And maybe like we kind of try to get ahead of the curve where things are cyclical and they come back. Maybe we get ahead of it and we lean more towards I'm up for that. And then you and I are kind of there when the party starts.
I'm all about being there for the party.
Are you up for that?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
No, you're not down with that.
I'm up for that.
Yeah. All right. What is it, kids? Can you text Cooper right now? Coop's still cool. Coop's in his 20s. And just text him and say, is the correct phrase, I'm up for that or I'm down for that?
Let's see here. Let me see if I can get a hold of him.
Is he married yet?
He recently, I told him that he is officially off my emergency contact list, because if it's up to him to answer right now, I'm dead.
No, Coop. He's still on my phone as Coop to Poop, James.
And he'll do this a lot of times. I'll call and then he'll text 30 seconds later, what's up? And then I'm like, well,
dead, died, just died, son.
Just died. Thank you. And I'm calling him out on it.
Just died. Thanks for answering. If you answered 30 seconds ago, you would still have a father. Such a bad.
Now you don't.
Should have answered. Have a good life. Kiss your babies for me. Would have loved to have met your grandchildren. My grandchildren. Is he married yet?
Nope. July.
Man, I'm excited for him.
And don't worry. You will get an invitation. It's just
cool.
I think they're sending him out like this week.
Can you tell him to save the money and just send me a picture of the invitation?
Perfect.
You know me. You know me. I'm about that. I love Coop. Love Coop to death. I don't need him to spend money on sending a card to Lexington, which I assume costs like $50 million, because I still think that Paul Revere rides him out here on horseback.
Well, I will say that I am a little proud of him, and ultimately, I guess that you got to be proud of her, because they were like, they looked at invitations, like these really cool invitations, and they saw how much they were, and they were just like, that seems so dumb. Like, everybody hangs it on their fridge for a little bit, and then they throw them away. And like to save the dates. They were like, why do we have to send you something that says save the date? And then we're going to send you something else that tells you, here's the date. So they didn't do save the dates. And I was like, okay, that's
Wow.
reasonable. And then they didn't do any fancy thing. They ended up making them on the computer or something with, I don't know, one of the places sold them like templates or whatever. And they were just way cheaper.
MS
I was
Paint?
like, yeah, who cares?
Who cares? People will be there. They're going to know. It's funny we bring up Coop. We're going to do our next segment, our next game here on the show, and it is sponsored. And it reminds me of Coop because he worked here. This segment is brought to you by Tomato Street in Spokane. Go there, get the blackened chicken fettuccine, a Diet Coke. Enjoy their bread because it rules. Also, take a date and play a crap ton of games like Hangman or Wordle, Tic-Tac-Toe, that dot game where you try to make all the squares at their tables because you get the paper and the crayons. Tomato Street, the place to eat ball when you need a spicy meatball. So thank you, Dean. All I've ever thought is I've done this podcast for 20 years. Like, I think if I just had one sponsor who was willing to spend like $500,000 a year, I could retire.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, and I feel like there's like Jeff Stevens. Where are you at, dude?
Yeah, why are you not sponsoring this podcast?
Jeff, what's $100,000 between friends? I would gladly have changed the name of this podcast to the Franklin Mountain Energy Podcast.
Who is like the richest person that you know? Like
Jordan Redmond.
Jordan Redmond?
I think Red's got money. He probably doesn't want me calling him out on the podcast, but Red, I think you have money. I feel like he's got money.
And he has a business, so
Yeah.
he would be a candidate to maybe, sponsor this podcast.
The problem is he had 40 children. He's got 500 kids.
Kids are expensive.
Dresback, Johnny
and
Drez.
He's gotten into politics, right? Like he's...
Yeah. Jalen's like a dentist. I feel like dentists have money.
Oh, they do, yeah.
So maybe Jalen.
That right? Good for her.
That'd be kind of cool. Jay
Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty good about sharing it.
I love that guy. That's the best joke. Who do we know? Do we know someone? Who's the richest person we know? This is a wildly dangerous game. Zeke Brown? We don't really know him well enough.
I don't feel like I know him well enough to be like...
He's part of the 3M family.
I mean...
If we saw Zeke would say, "What's up?" Zeke is my favorite.
Oh, for sure.
Can I say
hi?
Zeke is my favorite rich person because Zeke would show up to the NCAA tournament surrounded by the richest boosters Gonzaga had. We're talking dudes who showed up in expensive suits, walking around being expensive. And Zeke always showed up looking like he was ready to go on the court in warm-ups. He was in T-shirts, sweats. Yeah. Now, they weren't just like, it wasn't like Russell Athletic sweatshirt and sweats. It was more expensive ones, but that dude always wore a T-shirt and like just Nikes and had more money than all the guys who were pretending to have all the money. And I love that.
That is correct.
I love
He's just one of the, he's a sports guy and he was like, I got a lot of money, whatever.
Yeah, Zeke.
No big deal.
Zeke Brown, sponsor the podcast.
I know. I will tell you, my brother is probably the richest guy I know.
He is.
But I have burnt that bridge, I feel like.
Why? What did you do?
No.
You lose some Wordles. I love Keith.
I do too. He's my bro. I love him. But
you said he's rich? I love Keith.
He would sponsor it. He doesn't have a business, though, his own business anymore.
Yeah. Brandon is eventually going to own Washington Trust.
I agree with that.
When Brandon owns Washington Trust, you best believe I am sending him a bill. Then I'm saying, Washington Trust, the official sponsor of the Sean Widmer podcast, $1 million. And he just has to sign it. Lifelong sponsorship. Okay. Anyways, Tomato Street brings us this game segment that's called Favorite Things with Kevin. It's my favorite things with Kevin James. Okay. I'm going to give you I'm going to put your boots up the sand or whatever it is and make sure your ankles are right in there. Anyways, I'm going to read a category and then I'm going to say 3, 2, 1 and we're going to answer and we're going to see if it's the same.
At the same time.
Yeah.
This is funny. Producer Steve brought this game up a couple days ago and wants to play it on the air.
The first topic is I can't wait to hear his open. What was our favorite place to get lunch together? This would be where Steve would play like some music, like thinking music. Dun 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 dun. And then it would then you would hear like the audience go 3, 2. So I'm gonna do that. 3, 2, 1. Round table.
Mongolian.
Oh, we didn't get it. Okay, we're 0 for 1. Moons
What
Mongolians.
did you say, round table?
I said round table. You said moons, which is such a good answer because I think you and I both like moons more.
And I think it was the place that we would go, just the two of us.
Yeah, that's true.
The round table was like the show a lot of times.
It was. But I will say, we went twice to the one up north. Do you remember that when we were working KXLI?
Oh, yeah.
We went up north and, oh man, Moons Mongolian is good.
Good. It's been too long.
Moons is great. So Moons Mongolian is my favorite restaurant of all time, no matter what. No matter where I've lived, no matter where I go, who you are, what you do, where you live. As long as I love Moons, that's the thing. I love it. But we had good times at Round Table, Kev.
Yes. Oh, a lot of good times.
None of those foods would scan well on the Yuka app at Round Table.
I don't think so.
But they scanned well in my belly. We had good. We just had. I feel like our lunches were. We didn't do them enough. Like we just didn't do them enough. I think one of the problems was I started playing basketball Tuesdays and Thursdays at lunchtime, and Fridays we didn't want to do lunch. Fridays we wanted to leave. Fridays.
Oh yeah, you're saying when you were here, you were playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah. Yes, you're right. That did cut into lunch.
Fridays we wanted to leave, so we're out. Monday was always weird because it's like. You kind of feel like everyone's watching, so you needed to like pretend like you were
back to work.
Yeah, it's like we should probably stay till 1 or 1:30 today. Like, and then Wednesday, I had just played. I just left at 11 the day before to go play basketball, so I felt like I needed to work on Wednesday. Dumb.
We should have just said Wednesdays, lunch days.
Yeah.
Make it a thing. And just do it.
We should have done that. That was because it was always my favorite going to lunch, which leads me to my next. Favorite things with Kevin James. What's Steve going to call this game?
Actually, his isn't favorite things. Yours is so much better.
Favorite coworker from the past that we would have the most fun going to lunch with tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. Kathy Bevan.
Oh, dang it. I was trying to say Casey Lund.
Oh, you've put me in a bad situation here. You understand?
Kathy Bevan's a great answer.
So Kathy Bevan's our answer. That's you and that's our answer. But let's go there second. Your answer is amazing. Casey Lund worked for KXLY Television mornings. See, this is a guy played football at Idaho, but was the most outgoing dude ever, and was like, I don't think you would ever think of him as a football player if you met him, besides his size. And that man will say anything that comes to his mind. And anything that comes to his mind is always wild and most of the time inappropriate, but also he's so funny and he makes you feel so funny.
And then he also has that thing where it's like, he is a really nice person.
Yes.
And so even though he's reckless and like will say all the funny things, like then all of a sudden he'll just stop and be like, so how are you doing, man?
Yes.
And then he'll have like real life. And I like that when you got a little bit of layers to you. I mean, also Steve Hawk is a forever answer for me.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go to lunch with Steve Hawk so bad and I just can't pull it off.
Yeah, he is. So Steve Hawk is, I think, I can't say that because the answer to that question is you or Jay. I was going to say he's the funniest person I've ever worked with, but you and Jay are funnier than him. It's just not fair because we were like family, so you can't answer in that group. It's like you got to answer outside of it. Steve Hawk is as funny as anyone I've ever been in a building with, ever.
Yes, he is.
The fact that man just does production, well, his voice is spectacular. He does all the commercials, and his voice he's amazing. But he is an absolute laugh a minute.
Yes.
Oh.
He makes me laugh a lot at work.
Golly. I love him. Okay, but then Kathy Bevan, the reason I said her, I think my favorite work lunches I've ever had in my life were you, Kathy, and me just going to lunch wherever it would be. I feel like it was always some random place, and we would just sit there and talk about sports and TV. She always knew all the TV shows, everything about them.
She's fascinating.
But then
she's
she's
one of those that has she's got a lot of info, and she gets it out there in a very fun way.
Yes. When producer Steve put together your video for your 30 years of show, two things on that. Kathy Bevan was the person I was the most proud to give him the number of. Even though I had given him some really good numbers, including some Zags, and like I'd given him some good ones, but I was super excited about Kathy because that is that's a family member. Yeah. That was a fun, as great as it is to see like Keith Urban was on there. That's so freaking awesome.
Awesome.
Right? But there's something about the people were there in the trenches along the way. Kathy Bevan selling commercials for the show, keeping the show going, but also just like in our lives. That's so valuable. And so I was excited to see her on the video.
Yeah, she is a good one. And the other thing I liked about her is it might be 2 years. Like she stopped working with us. And so we might go 2 years before we go to lunch with her. And sometimes you know, when you see somebody like that, the whole thing is just about like, we never get together. We never do anything. Like, well, she's like a dude in that way. She does not bring up she's just like, let's get to it. What's going on? And then she'll just jump right into conversation. There's no, like, we get it. Life happened. We're all busy.
Yes.
But let's just get going. And she would.
The craziest respect for that. Not everyone's like that. You are right about that. That's a great observation. My other question about that video. Did you ever scan the QR code I put on my video?
No.
It was never brought up. And I was super excited about it. I was so excited about it. It was like the only reason I sent a video was to do this.
Well, and I'm sure to pay tribute to us.
It was I was at the very end of the video, and I gave a shout out to Jay because I had bought Triscuits and things he can't eat anymore. Triscuits and cottage cheese.
Yeah.
And I know he can't eat them, but I put a QR code overlaid on my video.
What?
Yeah, so there's something for you to look forward to later. You got to scan it.
I don't remember ever seeing it. I'm going to go back and watch the end of that video and see what it is, and then I will let you know.
Like, I'll be honest, it was one of those things I did, and I was like, this is not going to go, like, it's not going to be on the air or anything, but I'm at least going to get a text from Jay and Kevin, like, that was kind of fun. And it never happened, and I was like, So anyways, that's me being a whiny little baby. Okay, what's new?
Not bad.
Our favorite Zags play ever. This is not our favorite Zags player. We've talked about that, and it's kind of constant. It's weird as the Zags are now in the NBA, who are in the NBA, that affects for some reason who I love.
Right.
Corey is skyrocketing.
He's so good.
Is Drew Timme going to be one of our favorites at some point? If
so.
COVID year hadn't happened, I was talking to Jack Ferris about this today, by the way. The 2020 team, 2019-2020 team was going to win the championship, period. If you don't believe me, they have Philip Petrusev, who a lot of people hate, but was really good that season. We had Killian Tilly, who had made 100 3-pointers in a row going into the tournament. We had Drew Timme. Don't know if you've heard about him. We had Anton Watson. Those are four big guys who were playing, along with Umar Balla, who was terrible but could have got us some minutes if we needed him in the tournament, right? Some big guy fouls. We had Admon Gilder, Ryan Woolridge, Joel Ayayi, and Corey freaking Kispert. That is maybe the best Zags roster. Okay, it's an unbelievably ridiculous roster, and the next best team was Kansas, and all they had was that Christian Brown guy or whatever.
Yeah.
We were going to steamroll like Duke is doing that tournament. Steamroll.
Playing Spokane.
Oh, it was going to be insane. That is a championship, period. Killian Tilly told me on that airplane that one time, he goes, we were going to win the championship. I said, yes, you were.
Who told you that?
Killian Tilly. I sat by him on an airplane years later, and he was like, I had talked to him about that season. I was like, dude, that was a bummer. And he said, we were going to win the championship. I said, yeah, you were, Killian. Okay, favorite Zags player. 3, 2.
Favorite Zag
play.
Okay.
I'll let you think. I'll do the music.
Like you said player, and I started to panic that I had the wrong thing.
I'll do the music.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Adam Morrison, San
Suggs.
Francisco. What's your Jalen Suggs is great. Jalen Suggs is the right answer, actually.
Jalen Suggs, buzzer beater, UCLA to go to the Final Four.
Yeah,
Or no,
that's the
to go to the national championship.
That's the right answer. That's the best Zags play ever. It's a bummer because the runner is such a great iconic play.
It is.
The tip in by Corey Kispert, by Casey Calvary, is such an iconic play. It's probably the most significant basketball play in program history.
Fair.
Okay, besides Kennedy Meeks, which is for the other team, who was out of bounds for North Carolina. We would have won that game. He was out of bounds, period, 100%. We win that game.
So bad.
Championship. The Jalen Suggs shot was crazy. Half-court shot to go to national championship. Do you remember the Morrison play I'm talking about? He hits the shot and then walks over to the sidelines. Is it St. Mary's or San Francisco? I think it's San Francisco. Did I get the whole thing wrong? He just walks over the crowd and like middle fingers their student section.
Oh, yeah. It was
Pepperdine.
No, are you sure?
Oh, now it can't be the best player ever if I don't even know it. I guarantee you that. Dumb answer by me. Jalen Suggs. Right answer. Kevin, our favorite bar in Spokane that we both like that isn't the Marquee. Okay? Our favorite cool hang. Let's call it cool hang in the Spokane area that isn't the Marquee.
Boy, I'm gonna have to run it back here a little bit in the old brain. It's been a while.
Are you not going out anymore?
No, never.
Really?
Never ever. I mean, yeah, not really.
Man, we had a moment there. We flew really close to the sun. I think about it a lot because you were the age I am right now.
Yeah.
And I was in my young 30s, and we had a moment. I was in my late 20s, so you would have been in your late 30s. We had a good time. We were going out every weekend.
There was a lot. It was a lot.
And having a fun time. Like a fun time. A fun time. We're going to scratch that then. Your favorite show that isn't Survivor. Okay? The favorite show that isn't Survivor right now. Right? And recently.
That we're watching. Okay.
Yeah, or that we've watched in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That isn't Survivor. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. 3, 2, 1. Shrinking. I knew it in with a tie, baby. It's called rigging the game. Kevin, I think I'm ready to say it. Shrinking's better than Ted Lasso.
It is.
Oh.
No, I agree. I agree that it is.
Not a shot at Ted Lasso.
No, it's great, but I do think it's better. I just think it's a little more versatile. And I mean, did you see? And now this next season, who is coming on the show?
The third season?
Yeah, to play Jimmy's dad. It's somebody real famous, and I can't remember who it is right now.
I'm looking. I think it's brilliant writing because I think the show itself, new actor. Let's see, new Jimmy's dad. It is. I can't get over this now. Jeff Daniels. Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, is he good at all?
Are you freaking kidding me? Okay.
Right.
So what I think is brilliant, I think the story, just like Ted Lasso, I think the story in the show is great.
Yes.
The emotional parts of Shrinking are very well done.
They are. And never really overdone.
Correct.
Like it feels like that's real life, how people handle really traumatic situations.
Yes, Kev.
And then they can also not make fun, but, like point out the quirkiness of some of the other patients where you're just like, oh man, then there's people who deal with stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's interesting.
And it's weirdly, there's no way it's like good for you therapy wise, but it feels like it might be. Like there's something about it that feels like I'm learning something, which is weird about humans, the human experience that feels.
Well, what I like about it is you'll hear people say about therapy all the time, like, or their trauma or whatever it is that they've gone through, where it's just nobody understands what I've.
Yeah.
And I think when you watch that show, you realize, listen, even the therapists are all screwed up. We all have something
Yep.
that's in there that no one gets out of this little game of life without some good old fashioned issues.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that really is it. It's really weird. It's good. That's a good assessment. And it's all. But then on top of that, Kev, it's really funny. It's actually
so funny.
It's actually really funny. So one of the things I think is that season 2 was I think it was equally as good as season 1 and maybe better.
Yes.
Okay. Ted Lasso did not do that. Ted Lasso season 1 was the best season, and then whether you love or whether you love the next season or not, it is worse than the first season. Even if you loved it, no one loves the second season more than the first, and no one loved the third season more than the second or first. Shrinking is going the opposite way, where it's just getting better. Now they're going to throw Jeff Daniels in it. Lord,
I know. The thing about Shrinking is it's just like a masterclass in character definition.
Yeah.
They have such great characters and they just stick to it, and they don't really go too far outside of their characters. It's like, this is all we're going to learn about. You're not going to meet 20 or 30 new characters. This is the cast.
I love that. I do love it. I love it. Okay. A couple last things. Did you go to the Inlander party?
I did not.
Oh, okay. So the Jay and Kevin show, for those of you who are unaware, and if you're unaware, then you are hiding under a rock. Number 1 in the Inlander Best of, a milestone for the radio show, because it's something that had been sought after. In my knowing, since 2005 is when I started to push the help with whatever the push was, whether Castle wanted me to do something about it, or then you guys, and then all of us together working together. We always wanted that Inlander number 1. Dave and Ken got it every year. You guys got it this year. Suck it, everyone else. I don't know if you're allowed to say that on the radio, but if you want to use that audio tomorrow for Audio Vault,
okay.
Slim says, suck it, everyone else. That's fine. Totally cool. Don't steal my games, though. Those are mine. Thank you. Especially not the intros that I made. You won. Dude, congrats.
Yeah. I mean,
we won before.
We did. And that's the thing. And then we just always were kind of like,
bitter beer face.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's just do this. And then it became fun to be number 2. And so as long as we kept the streak of number 2s going, we were happy. And now we get the number 1 because, well, quite frankly, Dave, Ken, and Molly aren't on the radio anymore. So of course we're number 1.
Of course. Now, let the record show, the Jay and Kevin show, maybe not every single year for 30 years, but over half of them at least, sprinkled in here and there, was a better show than Dave and Ken. So I'm not saying Dave and Ken's a terrible show. I'm just saying our show was better certain years than theirs were. We did more stuff. We had more things go down. Maybe 1 year we were in a rut and we weren't as good and they were really creative. Right. But then another year they were in a rut. It shouldn't have just been them every year.
Right.
But I will say this. When you guys got the number 1, I was so excited for it. I texted you and Jay immediately. I was so pumped when I saw it. And then I realized, like, it actually, all those years, has real value for listenership. Because it's a big write-up in the Inlander, which enough people look at. It's also posted on the internet. People see that. And there's a big write-up. And I can't tell you right now, I can't tell you who was second or third. I can't tell you. So I'm realizing now, as a not in it human being who read all of the I looked at all the Inlander best of, because I love that. I love that article. I think it's brilliant. I looked at all of them. I know the winners. And as a reader, I don't know second and third place. We always knew second place because we were second place.
Right.
I don't know how many people.
I know what your point is.
Yeah, dude.
Like when I go through there, if you ask me who got second best barbecue, I would be like, oh, maybe it was this or that. But I know who won Outlaw Barbecue.
Yes. Nordic Smoke, like, real good. Right. Nordic Smoke ripped off. Nordic Smoke. Well, they don't have a place. They don't have a place. Outlaw should understand the win. Totally understand the win. We just have a personal relationship with the Nordic Smoke guys.
We do.
Outside the fact their barbecue is freaking unreal. So
it's very, very good, and it's actually, I mean, hand smoked.
hand smoked, baby.
Like not a lot of places have the time for that, but Dusty and Casey, they actually light it up and smoke it.
They do
on their own every day.
They do. But I did notice, Kev. I was like, I think you'll gain listeners from this. So you're at least going to get people to tune in. I think you'll have someone. Did someone call in and say they're listening because of Inlander?
No, but but this was the kind of thing that made me happy because Victor, the kid who wrote the article, Victor, he grew up in the LA area.
Okay.
I can't remember what school he went to. Oh, I'm terrible. Dang it. Sorry, Victor. I can't remember what school you went to.
Yeah, suck it, Victor.
But he ended up...
Put that on the audio vault. Suck it, Victor.
Sacramento State? I don't know. Something like that. He had moved up north a little bit. Anyways, he ends up graduating and looking for his first journalist job.
Love it.
And he ends up in Bonners Ferry, Idaho.
What?
Hello, culture shock.
Oh, my lands. Yeah.
But he goes, I loved the area so much. I was like, if I could ever get a job like back here in Spokane instead of Bonners Ferry, I would want it right away.
Yeah.
And so whatever, that's a little bit of his backstory, right? He ends up going back to LA for a while, then gets a job in Spokane at the Inlander, and he's been here for a few years. And he goes, well, one time I have to drive around a lot and go do these stories. And I still like to flip through the radio quite a bit. I was flipping through and you guys were having a conversation and he was like, okay, this show's really funny. Like this is a funny show. I don't know anything about who you are, what you do. And he's like, I really was enjoying it though. And then all of a sudden you played a country song and I about drove off the road. He was like, what? This is a country station? And we always enjoy that compliment.
Absolutely. Like, we've talked about this a lot.
A lot of country morning shows are country morning shows, and that's it.
Yes, sir. We've talked about it a lot. We could have been on a pop station, and no one would have the show doesn't change.
Right.
We were plug and play.
He then saved us on his presets, and he goes, I started listening every once in a while, and he's like, you guys are great. I actually find myself listening to your show quite a bit now. And that was like the ultimate compliment.
Is this a me year or a Steve year? Dang. Steve year?
I mean, it seems like that's when it started to go really well.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, I still loved that. I had a lot of fun. But Victor, go back and listen to like some 2017 stuff, dude. He's originally from Los Angeles, grew up predominantly Mexican-American neighborhood. This is according to his LinkedIn. His upbringing has given him a diverse worldview as a journalist, and his passion for music, politics, and journalism drives the many beats I have covered. So are you guys doing a lot of politics now? Is that kind of what the key to success is with Steve?
No.
Jay finally got his wish?
It's the hardest thing. You used to always complain about the Friday show and the fact that it was hard to keep everybody focused on the show.
Very hard. When you're wanting to do stuff, when I was really focused on trying to execute, it was really hard. Because it was hard.
But I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine.
I realize now what a butthole I was on Fridays sometimes. I had a lot of fun. It was like my day to just have a lot of fun. And
Hey, Kev, with me looking back, you were sort of going through some stuff. And for a lot of those years, I can imagine, right? Fridays were probably a pretty nice day to talk to some buddies.
Well, it was fun because I did not get to see those guys very often. And I genuinely, they're some of them my favorite people.
Yes, I totally agree. So my mom and dad ran into Warren and Monty at Costco and sent a picture. And I looked at the picture and it wasn't like I used to work with those guys. I looked at it and I thought, those are two of my friends that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yes. And I will tell you, the thing on Fridays now is the amount of effort I have to put in to making sure that the commercial talk doesn't go on the air.
Oh.
Because during the commercials, Monty is all in on political talk.
And Jaybird.
Bruce is all in on political talk. Jay is all in on political talk. And those three can get going on something. And it's like, oh no. Oh no, they're fired up. They're ready. This is going to go on the air.
Are they more enjoyable?
Now, Jay is such a pro. Of course,
Yeah, he is.
He's never going to screw up.
No.
But Monty he doesn't have the filter. Bruce, we'll let Bruce say whatever he wants because he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's an old man who's supposed to. That's the character. Old man talk politics. That what old men do.
Then, in the middle of it, they're talking all this politics and stuff, and some of it I'm interested in, but not that much really. And then Warren has zero interest, and so my man Warren will come over and be like, "Kevy," have his phone, of course. Show me, and it'll be a picture of Halle Berry.
Of course, this is your celebrity crush. That's the most Warren thing to do.
God bless you, Warren, for keeping my mind where it needs to be.
Yeah,
not on politics.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering, are there Monty, Bruce, and Jay? Are they more enjoyable during the commercials now that they're on the winning team? Or was it kind of fun when they weren't on the winning team for a little bit there, and so they could really complain? Like, which was more enjoyable commercial talk?
So my favorite thing to do is find anything that could be a little crack in their armor.
Oh, you just throw it out there.
And then just to Bruce, when he comes in, I'll be like, "What's up with this? What's going on with your guy?" And then I'll just like ride him up and down about it. And then he's like, "Oh, you better shut up, you little liberal." And I'm like, "Bruce, I don't believe any of this. I'm just messing with you, man."
Kevin and I are just there to stir the pot, buddy. That's it.
Yeah.
Because we know you're fired up about it. Just like Bruce, you would do if you knew how to fire it. Like if he knew how to talk Gonzaga, he would do the same thing to us, where he'd come in and be like, "Oh, so St. Mary's is better than you guys now, aren't they? Well, so Randy Bennett must be a better coach than Coach Few. What's that like?" And he'd be like, "Get out of here." We would get fired up. Okay. So you didn't go to the Inlander party. Why not?
I had diarrhea.
We wanted to go for 2 decades. We wanted to go to that party for 2 decades, and you got a bout of diarrhea.
Imagine showing up for the first time.
And number two,
number two for 30 years, strolls into the party and craps himself.
That's the reason to go. That's the reason. Did Jay or Steve go?
No, they both went. Yeah.
What did they say? What was it like in there? What was it like in that exclusive party?
They said it was fun. They thought it was nice. I didn't get a ton of reviews. They apparently talked to some couple nice clients, not clients.
Oh gosh.
But like people who listened to the show. They weren't like famous, like, "Oh, it's Jeremy Legoo from Creme 2. It wasn't that. It was,
"Hey, golly gee, gosh. It's me, Jeremy Legoo." That's how I figure he talks.
The holiday heating guys. Like, they really like them, and they talked to them for a long time.
Eastern guys. Eastern fans. They've got an RV spot out there. Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, we love them. We love the holidays.
Well, that's good dudes right there. That proves it.
We love the holidays.
Yeah, so, I mean, other than that, they were there for an hour, something like that.
Kevin, that party was meant for us, for you and me.
I know.
That party was meant for you and me. It was not meant for Jay and Steve. I'm glad they went, but that party was meant for us to grace it one year and just have a time.
It could have been. Yeah, it just wasn't going to be as fun. And I don't know. I mean, I got to get official clearance from the doctor to start saying this, but I think I have irritable bowel syndrome. They're pretty sure of it.
Think so, huh? Think so. Interesting.
It's not fun. It has not been a good time.
No, Kev, that sounds miserable, dude. Diarrhea.
I'm single, by the way. If any nurses are listening and want to care for me.
Yeah, if anyone wants to care for Kev.
Yeah.
GetYourDJ.com. You can go there.
You don't have to be a nurse if you just want to care for me. That's
no,
fine.
Anyone can care, man. Anyone. Just someone with a big heart. That's all we ask for. I was laughing because I saw Dave and Ken Dave and Molly won Best Podcast.
Yeah.
which now this is my new thing. Your podcast is better. So now I've got new. I knew I needed new beef with the Inlander. I knew I just didn't take long to find it. I saw them celebrate Dave and Molly, and I was like, okay, cool. So they have a podcast, but the Jay and Kevin Show podcast is better, and so technically, you're getting screwed again. Yet again, the Jay and Kevin Show gets screwed.
Yeah, it's this whole thing about them having a podcast, and everybody's like, wow, it's the first radio show to ever do where you can listen back to their podcast
2013 2012
and we're like 2012, is that when you
2012 I looked it up the other day because I was dying to know, because I saw that they had said something on that article like radio show does a podcast. I'm like, 13 years ago we did that. 13
we started doing the exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it is kind of weird, but I'm not bitter.
You can't be.
I'm not gonna.
You're number one. No, don't. That's what I did when I was there, not for you.
Yeah, and I enjoy them enough. Like it's
they're great people.
They're nice.
They're fun to be around.
They did make kind of a snarky little comment when I saw them one time, where she said, "Well, yeah, of course you're going to get all those things now because we're gone."
Oh gosh.
And I thought, well, that was a little condescending.
Yeah, just can't. They can't all the way. Can't do it all the way. Can't do it all the way. Well, I'm bummed you didn't go. Sorry you have bitter bowel syndrome. That's a bummer. That's the only place you need to be bitter. Stay bitter in your bowels. Don't be bitter in your personality. Two last things for you. If you were to make a YouTube channel, these are the last things I had written. If you were to make a YouTube channel, what would it be?
Oh, boy.
This question is brought to you by the Dave and Molly podcast. Check them out on swx.com. I think that's how you get it. I don't know.
Oh.
3 sponsors today. 3 sponsors today. Crazy.
Those opinions are not necessarily those of mine.
No. This segment is brought to you by them on this podcast. What if they sponsored your podcast, though? That would be hilarious. What a twist.
Wouldn't that be something? What would I make? God, a YouTube channel about... I mean, the only thing I can think of is like something DJ-wise, where it's like, let's go. Here's today's... and a lot of guys do this. They do like the vlog of their weddings.
I love that, Kev.
So they're like, here we are showing up at the beautiful Lavender Manor today, and we're here, and we are doing this, and blah, blah, blah. But they're really pretty serious with it and just show great content, where I would be like, okay, here we are, but this is how we act. This is us trying to load the gear.
Yeah.
And even though we're pretty good at it, there's times where I'll drop something or this will happen or what. So I would just really show. I wouldn't dress it up. It would be live action, like the Turtle Man, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yee.
Oh, like here's Kevin in the porta potty changing his clothes from his sweaty clothes that he wore to set up. And now
you were going to say diarrhea. Diarrhea clothes.
He's changing his clothes. And look at him sweat. Look at him say the F word.
Well, if you're going to do a okay. If you're going to do a podcast where you say the F word, or a YouTube channel where you say the F word,
yeah,
then I will have to step in as a YouTube channel producer, and I will demand that it is a 15-minute daily podcast with Steve Hawk.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about that for years, that man needs to be on a podcast.
Yes. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It'd be like, I don't know. The other Steve, right? Because producer Steve is clean cut, and like, he's not going to mess up and say anything crazy on the radio. No. He's just safe, very safe. The opposite of safe.
Say piss not that long ago.
Okay, golly, Steve, you can't say piss on the radio. Even I know that one, buddy.
Yeah,
did he do the pissed off thing, or did he say?
No, he said prior planning leads to piss poor performance.
Oh, dang it! And he was using like a cool phrase, like a
something
a motivational phrase. It wasn't like how you or I would say, we're like, I'm gonna go piss on a tree, and then Jay would be mad. He used it in like in classic producer Steve, he was nice about using the word you can't use.
And was then mortified because Jay and I would not let it. We were just like, I can't
That's
believe
funny.
you said that. That's one of the 7 words, like the
That's funny.
FCC. And he was just like, what? Really?
Yeah, it's like
He was so worried.
you're like Janet Jackson's nipple made it so we can't say piss.
That's right.
All right, so there you go. Steve, but you and Steve Hawk, 15 minutes a day. If like you didn't have to worry about anything, see that's the hard part in the world. You have the Jay and Kevin show. We're family guys. We try to do the family show.
Right.
There's so much content out there. You and I watch Daniel Tosh every week. He's very good. We watch the Barstool guys on occasion. They're very good.
Yeah.
We could do those and crush it if we just decided we didn't care about that stuff. But we care. We care.
Right.
And so
Yeah, we do. And it's
if you did an unedited podcast with Steve Hawk, it would be the most riveting. Like I think about it constantly. If the 3 of us did a podcast, so you and I just had to lead the sheep to water,
yeah.
that man gets to the water and he feasts. We would be in such a good spot because we can set him up very well. We know him well enough to set him up well, and we're good at that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be insanity. That podcast would be insanity.
It really would. It would be very, very fun.
Oh,
Dreams. You know what?
dreams.
When this radio thing's over
I'll be there.
and they tell me it's time to be done, then I'll call you and we can do it.
Last thing. I was driving home today. I love my house. Love it. And I was driving up and I thought, I really love this house. And for some reason, I just thought, I wonder how long I'm going to be in this house. And I thought, I think the Widmers might have one more move in them. Okay. And I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I don't think that anytime soon, but there was something inside of me that was like, I could see there being like one last move for the Widmer family, whether it's here in like Lexington to a different house or somewhere, like just somewhere. I just have this weird feeling inside of me. I hate moving, but I have this feeling. So you've had a bunch of different living locations, okay, from youth, like young Kevin James out of broadcasting school or out of Spokane Falls Community College to now. And you've lived in a vast array of cool places, whether it was like some open land for a while there and then on top of the hill, the big house on the hill in Medical Lake, to like that cool bachelor downtown life of living downtown in like the coolest area of Spokane, right? So you've seen like all the different locales.
Yeah.
If you were to move again, what is something you would really like, knowing all the things, what are like some of the things you would want to have access to?
It's funny because I go back and forth on this all the time. And I think, man, you know what maybe would be I do miss, I think it's because I grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrington's as small as they get. And I miss, Medical Lake had the small town feel.
Big time.
Like you go to the grocery store and I'm probably going to see somebody I know every time in Medical Lake.
That's
It's
awesome.
just the way it was. It was a small enough community and we were involved in everything. So it would happen. But it was also big enough that you're, 20 minutes from work in Spokane and you're, there's enough other stuff going on, like where it's not like the small town sometimes just doesn't have a lot of opportunities for your kids or whatever. Like you kind of get pigeonholed into a couple things. Where like my son doing the TJ did the junior ROTC. That was so awesome. That's an opportunity he wouldn't have got somewhere else. Thank you for the salute.
Yep.
So there's a lot
shout
of me that I think about, like, what if I just moved back to Medical Lake and like found a little spot out there? Would I like it? Would that be what I'd be like, this is pretty sweet. And then I'm just going to be honest with you. Every time I think about it, I go, my drive to work is 4 minutes.
Kev, preach.
And my whole life, I lived in the West Plains area, lived on property, and I would drive to town. I would Medical Lake, drive to town. It just didn't. I lived in Harrington for a while, would drive to Spokane. Like that's just what we did.
Lived in Coeur d'Alene
But
for a
now that I've
lived
been
in Coeur d'Alene
spoiled
for
for-
a year.
I did what?
Lived in Coeur d'Alene for a year. You forgot.
Yeah, like 2 years. But thanks for bringing that up. That was a lot of driving too. I've always driven a lot, and now though, with these years of just being right here by the station, and the other thing is Kendall Yards is close to everything. So it never feels like you're going too far.
Yeah. No, yeah, Kev, being close to the freeway is a game changer.
Yeah.
A game changer.
It's so
being
so
able to
nice.
walk to those restaurants is really sick from your setup.
Yeah.
Being able to walk to a grocery store is sick. 4 minutes from work, 2 minutes from the arena is like really cool if you need to go to a show or something. You can get to the casino in what, 12 minutes?
Yeah. When I get in my car sometimes, our phone tells you.
Oh, it says like go to the casino. It's like,
oh yeah. There's times it'll be like,
was it 2 years? Really? Was it 2 years that you lived?
Traffic is light.
Was it really 2 years you were making the commute from Coeur d'Alene into work, acting like you weren't?
I never.
Oh no, we didn't. We weren't in the building. We were at home.
Yeah, I never ever stayed the night on a work night except for when we were working from home.
Yes.
That was the only time. That was like my rule. The first when we started dating, because we started dating during a 2-week vacation at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, oh my God, this is the greatest, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, just so you know, this is all going to change in 2 weeks. I can't do the thing where I'm driving from Coeur d'Alene in the mornings or, as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to do it.
I for a little bit, there was a couple times I did the drive from Coeur d'Alene to get to work. It sucked.
Yeah.
It was like, I remember just waking up so early and driving so far to get into the KXLY building and thinking there were people we worked with who did that every day. Because I think Gary Allen on the rock station did it every day from even farther than I was driving in Coeur d'Alene. I think he was like Sandpoint.
Who just quit radio, walked away from radio because he was so worn out from the getting up and driving from Coeur d'Alene to work every day. He's like, I just can't do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. And he had buns of steel.
I'm trying to remember a name. Did he retire from the job?
Yeah. He's the one that just kind of said, you know what, this is too much for me. And looks like he has a job at an RV dealership or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. We had another guy, I think, who drove in from Idaho, which is a long drive. Now his drive to work, how far is it from the prison cell to where you make the license plate for Chris?
Yeah, I don't think he gets to drive.
So he walks to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? Not a funny joke. How about this? Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
You're a bad human, dude.
That's one of those where you're just like,
worst person we worked with. I wish I could have punched him in the face at work. Like, worst person.
I know. I think back to it, and I never really saw that guy at work, and I just think, thank God.
He's the worst dude. Worst dude. Now that
I probably would have been like, he's such a nice guy.
Totally.
And then find out what he was doing, and you're like, oh.
Okay, I never want to see you ever again. Golly. Okay, so that was good. That was a good turn. Good about face turn right there. But that's all the people.
I really like what you're doing.
Well, those are the only people I could think of that worked in Idaho who worked mornings, right? We had people who worked days, but you can drive in when you wake up a long way away. You can drive in. Don't do that tongue thing again. Don't do that tongue thing again.
My lips are getting dry from talking so much.
I want a porch. That's what I want. A porch. Old man stuff. A porch. A porch to put like a rocking chair on. We don't have a porch in our new house.
Yeah.
I want a porch. I want a porch.
That's very cool. I had one on my house in Medical Lake, the house that we built. And it was like a cool wraparound porch.
Yes.
And that was always the thing. Like, I'm going to sit out here in a chair and just say hi to everybody when they come by.
How often?
And then the problem was I realized that it was like, well, most of the time, and the biggest problem, to be honest with you, was it was west facing. So when the sun would go down, it would just bake you out there.
Yeah, what a treat that would be to say hi to Jeff every day.
And
so
was a short time.
Well, no, but at some point, like that, you do realize that your neighbors, like you really can only talk to them so many times before it's
Right.
like, oh no,
Yeah.
now I'm on the porch and I don't
And-
necessarily want to talk to you, but I've started saying hi to you. Now I'm in it every
Now I
time.
have to.
Yeah, now I'm in it every time.
And the backyard was shaded, had the basketball court, so you could, Coop would be out there shooting, whatever, friends over, and a great view of Silver Lake.
Oh,
Like you could just,
oh,
it was such a better spot that I just realized, we probably never should have put that on there.
yeah, a good theory, good in theory.
Yeah.
Interesting. My thing would be I want to be close to a grocery store. Every time I've lived at a place close to a grocery store, I'm happier.
And you guys are not very close?
No,
now?
we are actually. It's only like maybe a 5 to 8 minute drive. It's just too far to walk to. When I lived at places where I could walk to a grocery store, I really liked it. There's something about summer.
That's a nice advantage.
Yeah, summer, like walking to the grocery store was kind of a fun activity.
Yeah.
And then you walk back with whatever you're gonna. I don't know. I like that's a dumb one, but I do like that.
And what do you think you'll move to? Do you think it's a bigger house?
I don't know.
Is the house that you're in big enough? Like, let's just say you never moved.
Yep.
And you raised your kids all the way through high school. That house could get the job done.
Plenty big enough. Everyone has their own bedroom. The kids all have their own bedroom. I got a vasectomy, so we're not having any more. If we have another one, there's trouble. There's trouble in paradise. Well, thanks for calling and checking in. I know you meant to. You meant to listen to the QR code that I put in the video, and you meant to check in on me when I did that. So thank you. But it's big enough. It's got the rooms for those, and we've got a basement. A basement's huge. We've got a basement. So we've got that place, I think, as the kids get older, that we can turn into, Huck, you sweat nonstop. Go to the basement. Go to the basement. Go be a knucklehead with your friends in the basement. So there's that space is the reason I think we can like have this house forever, is because you've got a space for 3 kids to thrive together.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the ultimate goal, and it sounds like you did it. This might be what wraps up the podcast. I just got a text from Cooper.
Yep, here it is.
He finally answered. I'm down for that. Sounds cooler.
There it is. So that means we need to be. I'm up for that, guys, and ride the wave as it changes. Right, Kevin. Thank you for talking for an hour and a half. I love you so much, dude. I miss you. I miss you very much. I hope that things are going well. I try to listen every now and then. I have not been able to the last couple of weeks, but when I'm in the office, I try to throw you guys on my computer in my office. So
that's nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've tried. Let's see, it was in February. So what was that, a month ago? I was listening a lot in February, around the 30th. And I tried like for 2 straight weeks to get on Beat the Show. And
couldn't get through.
I used to get so, in the words of Steve, pissed off at people for calling after Beat the Show and being like, "Why you cheat and put Rick on? Rick's always on. Rick is always, Todd Locke's always on. Used to always be on. Rich is always on. It never is in." And I get so mad. And now I'm on the other side and I'm like, wait a second. How are these people getting on every time? I'm calling every day. How are they on all the time?
Yeah, I will never get how it happens.
It's crazy. I tried for like 2 straight weeks every day where I was like calling, and I would be caller 1 and caller 4 and never caller 7.
Dang. And also, we've got a problem now where producer Steve is a very honest person. And so even though we'll say to him, Steve, answer the phone and be like, "Hi, who's this?"
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
That was a big Sean Widmer.
And Ben's played the last couple weeks, right? He's played a couple times.
Yep.
So you just say, doggone it, Ben, well, you're caller number 6, maybe we'll catch you tomorrow, bud.
Yeah. That's a big Sean Widmer. Big Sean Widmer moved to Rick Martin and Rich Hash. I loved both those guys. I love them. They're both great. Right. But they played so many times. I would do the, "Hey, who's this?" Rich Hash. Rich, dude, will you be our backup? You're caller 8.
Absolutely.
You're caller 8. I have someone on hold. If they drop off the line, you're our backup. Will you do that? Absolutely.
producer Steve is like, well, we said caller 7.
Yeah, he's a good person.
They actually are caller 7. So what should we do there? And I said, lie.
Lie, dude.
It's radio.
Lie, dude.
Yeah, not for a prize. Like if you're
No.
playing for a big prize or something, we do not do that.
No,
Yeah.
Kevin, I will always say this to anyone. There's one thing I care about. It's rules. Maybe too much. When we would give away big prizes, and Jay would say like caller 99, it always pissed me off because it was sorry, Steve. It would always tick me off because it's a long time to get 99 callers. But doggone it, the 99th caller was going to win. That was
you weren't gonna mess around.
we were not gonna. You and I were not gonna mess with that. The other one was when we drew names. When we would do like a contest, I know people always called us out on that. They're like, "Well, you cheated and drew the name of someone you liked." So if we played a game where it was like, "Tell us a story that makes us laugh," and 3 people got through, we did it was a legitimate drawing to win those because it didn't always work. Like we had someone we would want to win every time. There was someone we wanted to have win every time. And I remember thinking, like, do we just let Vanessa win or whatever? And the answer was always no. Well, let's put these names in, and the person who had the stupid one that we let through always won.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it worked with Slim's Big Adventure too. Was that it was 100% legitimate, like whatever. There was no researching the people and trying to decide. We did not do.
No.
April Fools!
Thank you, Kev. Love you. Have a good one. Bye.
Hey, you dude.